Hello to my Aries. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Let's get into your reading, Aries. Let's talk about relationships because the moon is in Libra, right? Let's talk about the definition of relationships. This is important. You all are high vibrating Aries, are courageous, energetic, pioneering. In contrast, a low vibrating Aries is impulsive, aggressive, and impatient, right? I know you all are high vibrating, tuned into this channel. This collective community is high vibrational, courageous, energetic, pioneering. So a relationship, by definition, is the way in which two or more people, groups, things, or concepts are connected or interact with each other. It can describe personal, professional, social, or even abstract connections, right? So main types of relationships are personal relationships. That would be examples of that would be like family, friendships, romantic partnerships. Professional relationships, examples of that could be like colleagues, mentors, clients. Social relationships, examples of that would be like neighbors, classmates, members of clubs or groups. And then conceptual or abstract relationships could be like cause and effect, part to whole, similarity. And then of course, key in human relationships would be like communication, trust, respect, commitment, support, those kind of things, right? Libra, you are rule first house, right? And Libra's rule seventh house. And seventh house would be like open, it would be like open enemies, right? And so shadow self. Like projection, right? Projection. So first impression, sometimes a lasting impression, right? Right, could be lasting impression. Not always, but sometimes. Let's get into it. All right. The cycle is over, move forward. So the cycle is over, move forward, right? So you always want to recall your energy, close out cycles in love, and just move on, right? All right. So, yeah, the cycle is over, you're moving on, right? Some people have retreated, moving on, right? So you have a choice to move on from some things or just, go back. So here we have 5 of Swords here, right? So this is a current situation, right? Some people have moved on, you can go back or you can move forward, right? It's always move on, or, whatever. So 5 of Swords is air, right? That's conversation. So 5 would be like the midpoint of something in the single digits, right? So 1 to 5, like Ace of Swords, or going to 9 of Swords before you go to 10 of Swords, right? So somebody's kind of at a midpoint. If you're high vibrational, you're like, okay, I'm courageous, I'm energetic, I'm pioneering, I'm moving beyond this. 6 of Swords would be like, okay, my ancestors are with me, I can just move beyond something, right? Just moving on, right? Cycle is over, I'm closing out cycles in love, right? Or you can say, I'm just going to get some rest. That could be 4 of Swords. Or you can say, I can't rest. I can't let something rest. Right? It's my way or the highway. I can't let something rest. It's my way or the highway. Then you wake back up. You connect with these energies from the past right here. And the 3 of Swords be like, talk about something, right? You go back, you keep going back over something, keep talking about something. It's like 3 of Swords would be like, my heart is still cracked in 3, so I'm gonna keep talking about something like a surgery, keep talking about like something that was heartbreaking, like keep revisiting something over and over again. It's basically like spell work, like keep putting a spell on yourself, keep revisiting something over and over. And it's saying here is like the cycle is over, move forward, right? Meaning go to 6 of Swords, move on from something. So I'm channeling energy in the cards, right? So I'm picking up on people's energy. So make sure you learn how to recall your energy when you're moving on, in cycles in your life. Move on wherever you are. Remember, Aries rules first house. I'm talking to you wherever Aries is in your birth chart. When you're moving forward, what's a blockage? Okay, a Hierophant. So you could be dealing with an energy who is stubborn, possessive, and resistant to change. It could either be an organization. See these two energies right here who feel like they have the keys to something, right? I don't know who. It could be two people who feel like they have the keys to something. These two energies right here could be for like, oh, they just playing mind games, right? So it could be somebody who's saying, oh, this person is playing mind games. We got the keys to something. In other words, they may not they could physically feel like they have the keys to something, meaning that they know somebody who talk to someone who feel like they have something. Keys could feel like they have the physical evidence to something, like they talk to somebody. We got somebody who has some information, like physical something, right? So that's up to you. That's up to you. So you all are fourth sign. This is five here. So fire and air would mean like we have something that could end someone, right? We have something that could end someone. That could be anything. That could be video. That could be a recording. That could be like some kind of physical evidence, right? You got some kind of physical evidence that could end someone, right? Right. So let's see. So that's a challenge, right? So this is what's currently happening here. This is challenge, right? So here's the distant past, right? This is distant past. So this is what somebody could be saying about you, right? This is what somebody could be saying about you. I wouldn't give a whole lot of energy to this. I wouldn't put a whole lot of energy to this, Aries, whoever you are, because on my channel, I try to encourage people to operate in the spirit of love, right? So when people are basically saying they have the keys to end you, you always want to operate in the spirit of love. Really, just, operate in the spirit of love. The cycle is over. Move forward. You operate in the spirit of love. People have already moved on with their lives. And you move on. Like this, you right here, there's people who have already moved on with their lives. Yeah. These would basically be energies that's like, instigating stuff, right? You just move on. You move on. These could be energies that you're still talking to right here. These could be energies you're still talking to. So it's basically somebody is like, this could be an organization. And these are probably people that source has been telling you to cut ties with. Whoever, you see all these swords right here? And you see these swords, you're like still holding on. You still, this 1, 2, 3, you're still talking to certain people. It's like you're still talking. It's like you're still holding on to some relationships. And when speaking of relationships, you're still talking to some energies. The source is like, if other people have already moved on, like why are you still talking to certain people that source is telling you to cut ties with, whoever you're still talking to? And source has been like, why are you still talking to certain people? If other people are moving, why are you still talking to certain people? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that to yourself? If other people have already moved on, why are you... And just like it's an overflow happening here, right? There's an overflow. I feel like something as far as you're concerned here, I feel like it's time for you to you're moving on. It's time to move on from something here. I feel like your moon sign, you could have, maybe you have a moon sign in Taurus, maybe. Maybe you're the one that has a moon sign in Taurus. Yeah, the cycle is over. It's time to move on. Yeah, time to move on from something. Yeah, because something is kind of heartbreaking here. Something is kind of heartbreaking. Like somebody, you're stuck in, it's like, I don't know who it is. So it's stuck in a cycle. And it's a very unhealthy cycle here. Something is a very unhealthy cycle here. Okay, this is what I'm seeing here. A Scorpio had something to do with this. A Scorpio in an organization has something to do with this. All right, this is what it is. Okay. This is Aquarius. This is Taurus. Okay. This is all 3 water signs here. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Right? And this is 3 of Swords. So something really heartbreaking, deeply disappointing, and was said something about divorce, surgery. A lot of stuff was said to someone's face right here. Something really heartbreaking was said something to someone. But this was intentional. Like somebody knows how to do spell work very, very well. Right? So somebody is really, this is how some people build their organization, right? So somebody knows that they have the keys to building someone's work in terms of spell work. And somebody made someone cry, right? This is what people don't understand how this works. Okay, so the cycle is over, right? So somebody was like, okay, we've done our job. We already moved on. This person is stuck, right? This person is stuck. We've done our job. We made somebody cry and they're stuck. And so people are basically like, this is heartbreaking, right? So that is first impression. All right, so let me speak to all parts of who you are as an Aries, right? So if this is your calling, wherever you are, if this is your calling in life and you're supposed to help bring people out of something, and this is where somebody got it wrong. If this is your calling to help people move forward, this is the reason why you would be looking back. Okay, this is the reason why you would be looking back, because you're saying these people right here could be stuck going back, right? And you could be saying, I'm going to hold on to these people. I need to talk to these people to help bring them forward so they're not stuck. Because these right here, 5 and 3, would be 8. That's a destiny swap. That would be a person, that's people that's stuck in time, almost stuck in time. It's hard for them to transform, right? Right? So as you, this is the year of 9, you're trying to bring people forward. Let's say it's your calling. It's your calling to bring people forward, right? You pour it out, right? So some people build their whole empire on making people cry and saying, oh, we've done our work. This person's stuck. They stuck in a mirror. We can go ahead and throw a sheet over that. That's done. They done, right? But if it's your calling and you genuinely care about people and people have already written you off, the cycle is over, they stuck. You want to stay with it. You want to stay with it. This is how you're calling people back. You're saying, okay, I'm really a humanitarian. I genuinely care about people. My heart is to help people mend their broken heart. That's really the key. That's really the key. These are not robots. These are human beings. Remember, this is some people's calling. This is some people's calling. So for the ones that people left behind, right? This is your overflow. Wherever you are, this is your overflow. So somebody was actually called to go back and get these energies. You're not saving people. You genuinely do care about human beings, human life, right? So you're saying, no, come on back. That's where these energies here are deficient. You care about the brokenhearted. Somebody they threw you into brokenness. Somebody thought they threw you into brokenness and then try to use your words against you to hurt you. All you need to just stay in there. Stay in there like, no. Come through this. So people are like, oh, that's so terrible. They keep talking about the same thing over and over and over again. So let me help you with this. Whoever you are, Aries. Somebody had a first impression of you, which was a lasting impression. Somebody's dealing with a low vibrating Scorpio. There's a big difference between high vibrating Scorpio and a low vibrating one. You got to look at these two cards right here. Somebody has built their whole empire. It's two energies. They built their whole empire on making people cry. Somebody felt like they had the key to you, which is to make you cry over something, right? Over a death. 5 and 3 is death, all right? They feel like they can make you and somebody cry. That was your destiny swap. If we can get them to pour out over a death, whether it's a death of a job, death of a marriage, death of a relationship, and I just ran down what relationships are, right? That's the key. That's a human emotion, right? But who doesn't cry? What human hasn't cried over something, right? This is a man and a woman. Somebody cried over something. That was the key, right? That's who you were called to go back and get. That's the secret right there, the moon card. That's the secret. Somebody's moon is in Taurus. Somebody's moon is in Taurus. That's the key. Somebody's moon is in Taurus. The cycle is over. Move forward. Somebody's moon is in Taurus. That is your calling. Somebody's moon is in Taurus. Whoever you are, that's your calling. They did something so egregious, they overwhelmed someone's moon in Taurus, right? And that's what you're called to do. Somebody has a very powerful ministry because this group of energy built their whole empire, whoever these energies are, on making people cry and using their words against them. Oh, they're a crybaby, something's mentally wrong with somebody, you know, just being insensitive and cold-hearted. Yeah. This is your strength right here. This is your strength right here. Near future, yep. Near future, your inner strength. You're a person who wears your heart on your sleeve. And so somebody felt like, you know, you just wait to, like, you, somebody was treating you like, okay, you wait to just leap on people or something like that. But Source is saying to you, whoever you are, is this organization made someone you love very much cry. And that was your awakening. That was your awakening. That woke you up. That was the secret to waking you up, because that pulled out something. They put a loved one of yours in survival mode. That was the secret. That woke you up. Everything else that was being done didn't wake you up. But this organization did something to, they played mind games, they didn't wake you up. Everything they did, they broke your heart. You know, they made somebody, but as soon as they made somebody cry, they made somebody cry. These two right here cry. That's something that just, something woke you up. Yeah, it woke you up real fast. Something woke you up. You got laser focus real fast. This is a religious organization. You woke up real fast. Something that was said. Something that was said about the past. Something possibly about family. Yeah, something possibly about something possibly about family. Let me see something. Possibly about family, you know, like playing these mind games. Because I'm looking at the number 5 here. You know, family members playing mind games, making people cry. Saying stuff, you know, in the past. So something happening within the family. Something brought somebody back to like a memory about something. But something is kind of like coming full circle for you all. And I'm not trying to be vague when I say this either. But something for you goes back to kind of sort of going back is helping you to build some kind of an empire. For you, something is not about money. Somebody really, really just does have a really good heart. Somebody has somebody genuinely does care about people. And something just does not sit well with you. Yeah, something just doesn't sit well with you when you're dealing with energies who when you're dealing with karmic couples. Yeah, something doesn't sit well with you when you feel like you're dealing with couples who almost like to attack people and make people cry. Like they play, what's it called? They play mind games with people. You know what I'm saying? Like you got one adult that's like, they just like playing mind games. Like one likes to make one cry, the other one likes to make it seem like they, you know, helping somebody, whether they're father and son, daughter and mother, brother and sister. You know, it's like, okay, this one makes somebody cry, the other one seem like they comforting somebody. Like somebody just does not, something about that does not sit well with you. And something just like a light bulb went off. Like you had a tower moment, you had some kind of an awakening. And that's kind of like it's for you, it's kind of like the something that you're tapping into. Something struck you like a bolt of lightning, and it struck you fast. I don't know who you are, but that's something that you were called to do. Whoever you are, something was called, you were called to do that. Yeah. So whatever anxiety you may have been having about something is coming to an end real fast. Because that's how it usually is with karmic couples. It always seems like, okay, there's one kind parent, one mean parent, right? Or whatever, y'all know what I'm saying. Like that in between, right? Go ask your mom, go ask your dad. You know, you crying 1 minute, laughing the next. You don't even know which emotion to tap into. Like what? You're confused, right? But anyway, cycle is over. You're moving forward. But somebody is now tapping into something because somebody is now going to move forward. Your ancestors are helping you to move forward with something, but you actually hold the key to, I feel like somebody feels rooted and grounded moving forward. And now you're having some kind of overflow now that's going to help heal your own broken heart. But now you believing in your dreams because you wear your heart on your sleeve, but something got you focused real fast and having to do with a young person here who was walking on eggshells. You have this, what I said, tower moment. You're in a very vulnerable space, but you're now getting something structured now. Yeah, you're not impulsive anymore. Like, it's almost like somebody was trying to find their calling in life, and now you found it. You found your calling. Powerful. Yeah, until you find your calling, and it doesn't matter what your age is, until you find your calling, you almost feel like you're walking around aimlessly, right? But when you do find your calling, you feel a lot more structure, and it seems like stuff is being sped up. Somebody's now going to understand how it'll feel like no matter what your career, whatever career you built, somebody's going to understand what vocation is, like your inner calling, like what you were called to do. That's why when people are called to do something, it almost feels like you never knew that person before, because how fast things come to you. You're going to realize, okay, I've been doing this my whole life. I didn't even realize I was called to do this. People are going to be like, okay, where did all this confidence come from? And you'll know, even in your vulnerability, that Source has you covered and protected. Yeah. Here's the Two of Pentacles here. Source is balancing things out for you. Yeah, you're not even worried about like somebody's karma. You're not even worried about anybody's karma, period. Source is balancing things out for you. You could have felt like before there was a low vibrating Taurus or two low vibrating Taurians that, when I say low vibrating Taurians, people who were stubborn, possessive, and resistant to change, because a high vibrating Taurus is really reliable, patient, and sensual. So we're not talking about high vibrating Taurus. Don't get it twisted. We're talking about two low vibrating Taurus. You could have felt like two low vibrating Taurus was responsible for causing, because of their low self-esteem, was responsible for causing your significant dip in your money, right? Maybe they were always asking for money. They may have needed something, but you don't have to worry about the money coming from them, because Source is about to speed up your income, because Source is balancing things out through prayer and meditation, because you were created for something. Like, you were created to help you're going back to get people who, it's almost like you going back to get energies that other people forgot all about. That's going to be the secret. You're going back to get people that people forgot all about. You're not trying to exploit people. You're not trying to humiliate people. None of that. You're not trying to exploit and humiliate people. Some people think people are all about playing mind games, right? No. Some people feel like they had to humiliate somebody, make two people cry and humiliate people and break people's heart and, humiliate people by making people naked and all this other stuff and bring people down to the lower frequency and feel like, okay, they got some people stuck in all these mind games by playing dark moon magic and putting people in survival mode. People feel like they gotta put people in do death magic and all that. Now, y'all already know, if you tune into this channel, none of that. None of that. You don't have to do all of that. You don't have to play mind games, none of that. Somebody knows enough Aquarius, Taurus, Leos, Pisces, other Aries, Taurus, Leos. You know enough zodiac signs. 12 zodiac signs. You know enough zodiac signs. You can fill up whoever, whatever. Source is saying Geminis, they rule third house. Aries rules first house. Scorpios, Taurus. You know enough zodiac signs that I can toss out any zodiac sign. Whatever first name come to mind. You could think, oh, we're talking about this person, talking about that person. Or you can be talking about yourself. You could have all of these zodiac signs in your birth chart. The bottom line is that you're now answering a call on your life. You're not trying to swap destinies. Source called you to a particular assignment on your life, right? So that you're not going through a nightmare, or you're not a nightmare to anyone else, right? Some people thought that they had the key to your life. That is why something was a nightmare to you until you had a total recall. Now you have some things in common with other people. People can't use your words against you when you knew you were called to something. You got too many things in common with other human beings. Yeah. Here we have the Ten of Swords. You're about to see this now behind closed doors, because now all the swords